The middle of the three special sections added to the Musaf on Rosh Hashanah is Zikhronot, found on pages 266 through 270 in the Gray Harlow Machzor. Its theme is God's remembrance, tying in with one of the names for this holiday, Yom HaZikaron. While the Torah's reference to the day as a zikaron, a remembrance, may have been intended to be something for us to remember, here it is us asking God to remember. We acknowledge that God recalls all of our deeds, whether public or private, but we also ask God to recall the deeds of generations past and the covenants made with Noah and our ancestors, that their merit should reflect upon us, and that the covenants should not be broken through our destruction. As with the other two sections, its centerpiece is a collection of 10 biblical verses mentioning the keyword of the theme, here the root zachar, remember, in one of its many forms. Once again, we follow the Talmud's directive, 3 verses from the Torah, 3 verses from the writings or the Psalms, and 3 from the prophets, closing with a final verse from the Torah, which in this section is embedded within the closing blessing. The introductory paragraphs to Zikhronot are not nearly as well known as Aleinu, the introduction to the first section, but it is likely just as ancient. We present the introduction here to lead up to the selections from the verses. One line from this introduction reads, Zeh hayom techilat ma'asecha, zikaron leyom rishon. This is the day which is the start of your creation, a remembrance of the first day. This seems to be an allusion to the idea that Rosh Hashanah is the anniversary of the beginning of creation, though we have conflicting traditions as to whether creation happened in the fall or in the spring, and indeed, if it is in the fall, whether Rosh Hashanah is the anniversary of the first day, or in fact the 6th day when man was created, sinned with the fruit of the tree, and was judged, thus making it the day of judgment for all time. One strand of tradition that argues for it being the first day, like we see here, notes that the opening word of the Torah, Bereshit, is an anagram of Aleph B'Tishrei, the first of Tishrei, the month of Rosh Hashanah. In Cantor Gadi's video, we have the introductory paragraphs followed by an excerpt from the Zikhronot verses, the 3 that are from the books of the prophets. This year, we will be reciting this section individually, but if you watch the video a few times, perhaps when you reach it in your individual Amidah, you will remember the melodies chanted here by our Chazan.